Okay, so it's Saturday. I've been up since probably like 7:30 in the morning. I met up with the gentleman who bought my old hood, and you could see I have a new hood. Well, new to me, because you could see this whole area is fucking gone. So what happened was, this was a brand new hood when that happened. I was kind of given the background. I bought this from a friend of mine. Does a lot of work on Oldsmobiles, and this is one of his racing buddies and a friend of mine as well. So what happened was, this hood was fairly new, probably not even 60 days old, he told me. And he forgot to lock it down, and they were at Norwalk, and it flew open, and it ripped the whole back half of the hood off. It's got some stress cracks, but what I'm going to end up doing, and this is going to be a really good video, so I'm actually going to make this a video on how I'm going to repair this. So I'm going to end up getting rid of all this frame, because this frame doesn't do a whole lot for rigidity. I think it's just there for looks. So you got this, and then it's gone. But the shadow is still there where the hinges would normally bolt in. So I will show you. So these are my hinges. You can see they will bolt up somewhere in this area right where that's at. Now clearly my hinges don't line up right now because the hood isn't even on the hinges. I just got it propped up with a fancy broomstick. Oh yeah, I picked up some wheels during the week. Disregard that. I have an obsession with wheels. So anyway, I kind of got an idea of what I'm going to do to repair this, but at the same time, I have to figure out where everything's going to line up, if it's going to work. So it's going to be a little bit of a scientific process, maybe. I don't know. But either way, it looks like my idea will work. And I don't want to give too many details away because this is kind of an intensive repair, but it's also going to make for a really good thinking outside the box for repairs like this. For guys, you know, who are on a budget. I mean, I sold my hood. It's hard to get money for an already painted hood because somebody's going to buy the hood and they're going to have to strip it, paint it, send it to somebody. So it's almost, you know, and people are always worried about digging into somebody else's work because they don't know what's there. So really, I ended up selling my old hood for $500, which wasn't bad. So I bought this for $500. Now, all things considered, this thing does need work, but this hood, so just for price-wise, to show you guys how much I would have paid for this hood, if this was just a pin-on with no bracing, right, none of that, no air pan in it, that would have been like $650, $600. That pan right there is like an extra $150. Now, this bolt-on with the pan and everything is well over $1,000. So I got this for $500. And I have to put some work into it, but ultimately it's just fiberglass work and some material. What will be expensive will probably be the painting. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint it right away. I might be rocking a little dirty primer on this thing for a little bit just because I know what it's going to take to paint this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right away. But hey, I got it. I can do most of the work and get it to the point where I can drive on the street with this. So we're going to dedicate an entire weekend to pretty much getting this thing squared away to the point where I can put primer on it. And we're going to make a video on that. But for now, we got to focus on getting this thing to the fucking point where I can start putting it back together. And the thing that's killing me right now is parts are holding me back. Literally, all I need is my control arms. And it's such a sour deal because I could have had the rear end in this car this weekend. I could have had the engine ready to go in probably by this weekend. But it still looks like the second to last weekend of March, we should be assembling this. And if most of the big pieces are in place by the end of March, then I can focus some time on the hood. But this whole coronavirus thing is going out of control. I don't know if the track will be open by mid-April. I mean, the way things are going, car shows are getting canceled. Baseball is completely canceled. It's a bit of a worry to try to make plans to hit the track when things are really uncertain at the moment. I mean, I'm not freaking out, but that's the reality of it. And but I'm going to keep plugging away. Again, my goal is that I'm ordering parts tonight. At this point, I am at the point where I'm just going to buy some adjustable uppers for an A body. They might work, they might not. I still haven't crawled into the car to measure, but at this point, it doesn't matter. I have to make something work. And the lowers I'm going to make, I have to order my material next week. And then hopefully next weekend I make the control arms like on a Saturday, and Sunday put the rear end back in. And once the rear end's in, we can slip the engine in and the trans in. The trans I'm going to paint in a little bit. I'm going to paint the rear end as well. And then this throughout the week I'm going to pick at it because I'm going to end up redoing the oil pan gasket because, again, I had to take off the timing cover, and it's easier to do that kind of as one assembly. And then I have to order push rods as well. So I figure, you know what, this I can chip at throughout the week, and it's not a big deal. If that's all I got to do. So as long as the trans, I get it painted, which it doesn't need paint, but I want to paint it. And then the rear end as well, it doesn't really need paint, but I want to. There's not a whole lot I can do this weekend. So again, parts are killing me right now, and I'm trying not to spend money that I really don't have. So again, I'm not crying here, but this is the reality of the hobby. If you're going to be somewhat responsible, you have to sometimes sit it out and do whatever you can when you can, because what I'm going to order tonight should hold us over for a little bit, but then there's going to be the wiring. The wiring, the way I want to do it, I have to order a bunch of individual wires. It's like $150 worth of wiring, and then I need butt connectors, stuff like that I'm going to need to reconstruct the harness. So again, it's the reality of the hobby and working on tight budgets, but making it work. We are still on track to get this car, hopefully driving in April, and hopefully hit the track at the end of April. One big expense that we're going to have at the end is I'm going to have a drive shaft made for it, because obviously the one I took out is too long, and that's what pretty much was starting to fucking kill the transmission. So new drive shaft's about $380, and that's going to be an added cost towards the end. That's going to chew our ass. And then we're also going to need some form of a sticky tire for the track, because this car does not hook on street tires, which was amazing. I thought for this fucking tank we were not going to have traction issues. Not the case. We actually need something. I need a drag radial or something. So I got to scour the forums and see if somebody's got some nicely used drag radials that got some life in them, that I can mount on some spare wheels so that we can swap tires at the track. And I'm going to end up getting rid of the Kregers, and I think we're going to end up doing Steelies on it to kind of give it like a little bit of a sleeper look. But yeah, we got some added costs coming up later. When they're not really added, it's just what needs to happen. Ultimately, I'm not going to, if I can't make the Steelies work, the car's going to stay with the Kregers. They're just heavy. They're not ideal. That is literally a quick way to shed weight, is get rid of these fucking heavy wheels. They weigh a lot. I'm going to get to it. Like I said, I'm going to paint. I might do a little bit of a follow-up once I got things with some color, but ultimately it's not the most exciting thing. This weekend is really lean as far as work, so at least we got the differential done. Pretty much during the week I buttoned it up, and yeah, we're starting to hit the point where it becomes a strategy and a balance between money and time and everything that's going on. So again, I'm not dipping into my savings. I'm doing everything strictly on whatever little extra money I got after I take care of bills and put some money away, because that's what you do as a responsible adult. So I'm going to let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe, wash your hands. Don't get coronavirus. Don't be coughing on people. Cover your mouth. Stuff your mom yelled at you for when you were a kid. So follow us on Instagram, Copper Cutlass. Follow us on Facebook, Copper's Garage. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button on here as Copper Cutlass. So we'll see you guys. We'll follow it up. Hopefully we can make something happen next weekend. And we're just going to rattle Ken some stuff.